What's up, everybody? Today we finally have an answer to a very important question. What would happen if Brienne from Game of Thrones went to space instead? The answer is Returnal. And trust me when I tell you, this is the first PS5 exclusive game that has me shitting my pants every time I turn it on. You play as an astronaut that crashes her ship onto a mysterious planet, and then you walk around and kill some aliens until they kill you. And then, you play as an astronaut that crashes her ship onto a mysterious planet, and then you walk around and kill some aliens until they kill you. And you do that over and over and over again. Every time you restart your adventure, you have a chance to find new artifacts, weapons, parasites, consumables. No run is the same. The more you play, the more you'll run into different kinds of aliens, and you'll learn their attack patterns and how they behave. When you first start playing, you'll probably see an alien and just stand still and try to shoot it. And then maybe you'll dodge when you see some projectiles coming at you. But then after a little while, you're shooting, jumping, dodging, and slapping aliens with your lightsaber all at the same time. But don't let me confuse you. This game is very fun, but it's also very difficult. You're never more than one mistake away from having a great run go completely sideways. Even the little baby beginner aliens will hit you and take off giant chunks of your health. Obviously, the best thing to do is to not get hit, and the game rewards you for doing just that. If you can kill a bunch of enemies without taking a hit, you'll raise your adrenaline. And each time you hit a new level of adrenaline, you'll get more bonuses. But it doesn't matter how much adrenaline you have. If you get hit once, you'll lose all of it. Thankfully, that's not the only way to upgrade your character in each run. You can attach alien parasites to yourself, which basically give you something positive and negative. For example, you can get more defense, but enemies leave a pool of acid when they die. Or, you get better healing, but longer amounts of time between dodges. It's up to you to decide if the positives outweigh the negatives. You can also pick up artifacts, which are just bonuses with no strings attached. You can get things like extra weapon damage or more stagger effects per parasite, but you'll lose your artifacts and your parasites as soon as you die. Even the weapons you pick up can have different kinds of bonuses. You could find a handgun that shoots bullets that ricochet to other enemies, or shoots in a burst fire pattern. Or you could find a shotgun that shoots in a wide pattern, or you can find one that shoots slug shots. And later on you can find weapons that have combinations of these bonuses. Every gun also gets an alternate fire. Sometimes you'll get a pistol that shoots force lightning, and sometimes you'll get one that shoots a super grenade. There are so many different ways to upgrade your character as you go through each run. Like I said before, even with all these ways to boost your character, the game is still extremely difficult. Most of the time, enemies will ambush you, bursting onto the scene in large numbers to attack you. Sometimes the exits to the room will seal themselves until you killed all the enemies in that room. But to me, that's what makes this game so fun. There's a real satisfaction in learning how to fight each enemy and deal with different problems you might encounter. And I feel like this allows you to go further and further each time you restart the adventure until you encounter a new threat that you have to figure out. The setting of Returnal is by far my favorite part of the game. You're on a planet that you really don't know anything about. In the beginning of the adventure, you come across these slabs with an alien language on it that you can't understand. But eventually you pick up these ciphers that allow you to start to understand the language, and you start to uncover these cryptic messages that were left by a civilization that was once there. The first area you explore is a dark forest covered in fog, and there's cracked and broken statues that give you a hint as to what the aliens of the civilization look like. I don't want to give away too much, but around the halfway point of the game, you do get to an area that looks like what their city would have looked like, but it's completely destroyed. And all the slabs with the alien language on it start to point to the fact that they might have made mistakes along the way, and they might know why you keep returning every time you die. Speaking of returning after you die, you'll constantly find your own dead body, and you'll be able to pick up a recorded log that lets you know what your character was thinking and what kind of state of mind they were in during that run. There's logs where your character is scared, curious, and sometimes just completely losing their mind. And that's when you start to realize just how long this loop has been going on. What happened to this civilization and why our character is stuck in this time loop are two mysteries I can't wait to find more info about. Anyway, it's time to put on your big boy pants because we're going to fight the first boss. First of all, I highly recommend you bring the assault rifle. You want to keep a good amount of distance between yourself and the boss. Most of his attacks are going to involve him shooting multiple projectiles at you. Basically, you want to just keep moving from left to right or right to left. Just keep focusing on trying to shoot him. The other thing I highly recommend while you're focusing on shooting him Don't aim at him with the left trigger. You really don't need to zoom in to shoot him. But also, don't be afraid to stop shooting for a little while to focus on dodging if you're in a tight spot. I forgot to get a recording of it, but the assault rifle I'm using is only a proficiency level 2. You don't need anything super strong to do this fight. And you'll notice I'm taking damage. You don't have to be perfect to win this fight. Once you get him to his second health bar, this is where staying away from him is really going to help out. A lot of his attacks are going to be pretty similar, but there is one attack that you really have to watch out for. If he shoots a laser beam at the floor, it's going to cause one of those red rings to shoot out, and you're going to have to jump over it. But before that ring gets to you, he's going to charge at you with his sword, so you have to dodge him and then jump over the rings. The only thing I would really recommend outside of the assault rifle is to go around the area and collect all the resins you can, so you can have a bigger health bar. When you get to the third health bar and he starts to shoot his lasers at the ground, it's going to shoot out 2 red rings, so you have to be careful of that. He's also going to be a little more aggressive with his sword. You kind of just have to keep calm and try to keep track of all his projectiles. And don't stop shooting unless you really have to. Eventually, you'll finally get through that third health bar and he'll finally die. And that's all there really is to it.